Hello, everybody. Rogue Fox here, and welcome back to another episode of our survival series. This is episode 21, and last episode, if you saw, we just made an awesome slime farm. And that slime farm is actually right below my feet right now, probably, I think it's about 15 more levels down until we get into the farm itself. I've just been digging down because last episode, like I mentioned, I wanted to build some sort of viewing room above. Now, that requires me to do a lot more digging, and I do need to repair my pickaxe, so let's go ahead and head to the Blaze Farm and do that. But before we head down to the Blaze Farm, I want to see how much slime has been collected since I've been doing my digging. Now, at the end of last episode, we were just over a stack and a half, I believe, and since then, all I've been doing is digging that area out, so I'm very curious to see what we have. And yeah, that's not bad. So we almost have a full line of slime balls. So I think that's pretty good. This farm, like I said, is definitely working. Hello. You enjoying? Yeah, you seem to be enjoying that chest right there, huh? Yeah, that looks like fun. Well, you enjoy and yeah, have fun. So let's go ahead. We're gonna head to the Blaze Farm and repair this pickaxe. I know I've said it plenty of times before, but I'm always entertained by this Blaze Farm. So if you haven't seen this in action before, what they do is that when they come down and spawn, they hang out for a little bit, and then they go and pick a corner to run into. So let's see if we can see another one do it. There we go, that one just ran in, and then at some point, yeah, this is always so fun to watch. I just oh, he didn't go in. Yeah, this farm is always so entertaining. So I have just cleared out this side and they are already filling back in. But when I went over to this side, I realized, I guess the last time I was here, I had this closed off, so none of the blades were going down below, which I guess affected the rates a little bit as far as them jumping into the corners just like that and like that. Ah, so entertaining. But as you can tell, if you look at my pickaxe down below, it is almost fully repaired. So I think probably like a couple more minutes of AFKing and it should be good to go. The pickaxe is finally repaired, and I realize I say AFK a lot, and one thing that has always crossed my mind, and this is just food for thought, I know AFK is away from keyboard, but I'm playing Xbox and I'm using a controller. So, wouldn't I technically be AFCing away from controller? A bit of a progress update. I have finally broken through and I can see the slime farm down below. So that means you can see it's still a little uneven with the ceiling here. So that means I'm going to have to be very careful as I'm digging these last few layers here. Okay, this should about do it. Now, if we do fall, I don't think I'm going to die. I don't have feather falling on these boots. And wow, I didn't realize my armor has taken so much damage. I do have some mending books. I should probably apply those to my armor. So let's see. Can we do this? Oh, okay. Alright, wasn't the best of landings, but we finally did it. So let's go ahead and eat. And yeah, there we go. So, like I mentioned, you probably can't see it, but that little hole right up there, that is my brewing stand. And then that is the entrance to the foxhole over there. And like I said, this is right below. So now that's a problem. Um, hmm. I'm really. I wonder if I can stick this landing. I really wish I brought fireworks. I didn't. So, can I make that right there? Yes. Yes, we did it. Okay. And then we just break that. And then. Oop. Yeah, so that is definitely a problem. I'm going to have to replace that. I'm going to have to replace those walls with just regular blocks, I suppose. Wow, that is a big drop. And what's going on over there? You can kind of see like some x-ray vision going on there. Yeah, that's weird. I don't know, maybe we're so far away you just can't process it right. But yeah, that is definitely a far drop. So what we need to do now is place in a temporary floor going across here, and I'm wondering how I'm going to do that. This is what I have come up with so far. This is on level 68. Now, up here in the foxhole, we start up here on 71, we work our way down, and the main level of the foxhole is on 69. So what I'm thinking is I'll keep it at that level. Now, the reason why I've thrown cobblestone down is more of a peace of mind, because I feel a lot more comfortable having some cobblestone under my feet than just a couple blocks of dirt, just in case if a creeper sneaks its way in through the front door right over here. You never know, crazy stuff like that happens. So I think, yeah, I would definitely feel more comfortable having some cobblestone under my feet. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come one more level up. So this would all be dirt, just like this. And in the center is going to be the viewing platform. This is a 9x9 area, and if we take a look down below, we have a pretty good view of the Blaze farm. Did I just say Blaze? Excuse me, the slime farm. That is definitely a slime farm down there. And yeah, so I think that'd be pretty cool. I mean, it's a big enough area for us to look down in, and then once we throw glass across, I want to use this green glass here just to keep the theme of the foxhole going. And I think that will work out good. So let's go ahead and place in some dirt, and then I'll catch up with you. The grass and the glass has been placed in, and that's almost a tongue twister there if you try to say that too fast. Something might come out wrong. So we have the slime farm down below. We have a nice little view of that. And then there were slime down there, and then I also got to see a couple slime spawn up top while I was working on this. So the grass has been placed in, and so has the glass. This is going to grow, and what we're going to do is we're going to build this up just like the rest of the foxhole, make it look a little more natural so it's not a big old box. And then, yeah, there we go. There's some slime down there. Sweet. So the only concern I have, and I need your help for this one. So when we first started building the foxhole, this was the main entrance, and this was all good, and this even kind of made a hard right. And then I try to break that up by placing these blocks in, but it's still a pretty hard right that we have to make. Now, the only thing with this room that we made is it's right here, so I don't know if I want to knock this whole wall out and then decorate it and expand out. And then on top of that, the other thing is that the enchanting room is right here too. So I'm not quite sure how that would look. Like we come down here and then maybe there's an opening here, but then on this side is also the enchanting room. That's pretty boxy in itself. We did break it up a little with the grass blocks and the slabs early on in the season. But yeah, I would like your guys' opinion on how I should go about doing this. For now, I do want to work on this room, so we can definitely work on the back corners here. We'll figure something out. Or maybe we can even break in to the hallway over here. So while we're at it, let's go ahead and check out the slime again. So we were just at a whole row of slime just about. So, okay, we almost have, well, we do have a row and a half. I know it's 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 across. Yeah, so just over a row and a half. But like I was saying, let's see if we can break through. This is level 69. Okay. So I don't know how many blocks it is. Oh, I think it's 190. Yeah, right there. Okay. So we have this. This is also a possibility. So we can keep this blocked off and sealed. And then the only way to access this room would be from the other side over here. I don't know. So, like I said, let me know down in the comments. I would love your feedback on that and what we should do. And other than that, we should, yeah, we can definitely start decorating this room a little bit, work on the ceiling, and all that fun stuff. We still have this zombie spawner right over here. So that's still a thing. That's still around. That didn't go anywhere. And I still have plans for that. So the corner of the room ends at 272 by 192. So here's the 192 here. And then 8 more blocks that way is the corner of the room. So This is the 9x9 area right here. So we have about 6 blocks to work with there. So if you want to help me brainstorm, keep that in mind as well. So what I think I'm going to do, and like I said, I'm totally open to editing this, but I want to block this up. Let's do something like this perhaps. So I want to come out like that, and then we'll cover this up. So this is just me brainstorming my ideas. We do want to cover this up, so do something like that. And we do want this to look more natural, so this looks like a lot of the corners I've done within the foxhole. In my own opinion, I just feel like it brings it together as far as I don't want it to be as hard on the corners. I want it to be a little more flat like that. So even up here, try to extend that out, and then maybe even here. So it's not as hard as compared to, we should probably light that up, because I know as soon as I walk away, something's going to spawn here. There we go. I know I was talking about protecting the floor with cobblestone, but then again, we do have a whole center area of glass right there. So, yeah, not the most creeper-proof thing I can place down. But maybe something like that. Let's say we even do some blocks like this. Maybe take that away. I don't know. That's still pretty symmetrical, and I want to try to avoid doing that. Like I've mentioned plenty of times, that is a bad habit I have. So maybe almost like a bigger hill, doing something like this. So maybe if we keep this as the entrance to this room, and we can always edit that, make that go downhill, like right into here. And then we make this like a semicircle, maybe. So then we would do the same to the other side. So something like this, and I'm going to kind of mimic the other side there. Like I said, I'm going to try to keep it as natural looking as possible, but we'll see how well I do with that. Yeah, I think that looks kind of good. Yeah, so I'm sure the grass is going to grow. I'm probably going to sit here and think about it for a few more minutes, and in the meantime, the grass will grow. It is smart for us to light this area up, and that should be good. That grass is going to spread. The grass should be spreading here soon. I know one of you in the comments have mentioned my process of doing this, so I do believe you were also mentioning how I work the ceilings in. So don't worry, for those of you, I'm sure you're not the only one wondering, but we will be going over the ceiling a little bit more in detail. But for now, this is kind of how I prep the room, so I kind of just eyeball the room. And of course, we do want to add texture to the ceiling as well, but I'm just trying to get a general layout of how this is going to look. And if we step back, I think that looks pretty good. Now, I do want to begin work on the ceiling. So what I need to do is add some depth, because obviously we have a flat ceiling here, so that's no good. So for those of you who are wondering how I do this, if we take a look over here, you can see I have some depth. I come out a block, and then I dig another layer out, and then I come up another block like that until I finally have this little center point up there, and then you can see I have depth all the way around. So I might speed this clip up, but yeah, I think that's a good idea. We'll probably do that. It's been a long time since we've done that. So I'm going to carve this out, and then we'll see. Yeah, we're going to add some depth, and then let's see how this turns out. Alright, welcome back. We have finished this room, and I hope that gave you a good idea of what I like to do when I do these type of rooms. So what I have done is, like I mentioned, I wanted to give this room some depth, so I came a block out, and then let this run out 2 blocks, went up another layer, came out 2 blocks, and then went up one more layer, and that is pretty much above the center of the room. So it kind of, if you look at it from this angle, it kind of brings your attention as it all kind of comes to a point in the center, I guess if you can say that. Basically, it's not a flat ceiling anymore, so it kind of comes up, like arches up on both sides. It kind of draws your attention and makes room to appear a lot bigger than what it is. So it is bigger. Obviously, we knocked the ceiling out, but it kind of gives that depth, and I think it came out pretty good. If we take a look over here, a good example of what I've done is right here above the sugarcane farm. So you can see it came up, it came out a block, gave some depth, and then it kind of rounded off on both sides here to the center point. So it makes the room appear to be a lot larger. Now with that too, when we have that depth up there, we can kind of come out like this with these grass blocks here, or leaf blocks. So there must be a skeleton above my head, somewhere up there. But you can see what we're doing here. That's exactly what we're going to do in that other room. So it comes to this little center point here, and then from there we can start hanging down our rocks, our leaf blocks, dirt, anything that we choose. So let's go ahead and work on that some more. I thought I would do something a little bit different for this time lapse, and what I'm going to do instead of playing music again is I'm going to talk to you and kind of go over my process of how I do things. So this is something different for me, and I hope this works out pretty well. What I've done, this is about 17 minutes worth of footage that I have sped up, and then that narrowed it down to about 4 minutes worth of time. So what I want to do is just talk to you about the process that I go through. So obviously you saw that I build the foundation first. I get everything all dug out and laid out how I want it to look, and then from there I'll go in and start adding my dirt blocks, my stone, my andesite, cobblestone, leaf blocks, all that good stuff. But what I like to do is use my dirt as a foundation. So you'll see that I am stepping back a lot to take a look at what's going on. And what I like to do is work on a section at a time. So in this case, what you're probably seeing is that I am working on the side, just that one side there, kind of filling in the corners. I wanted to make it actually connect with the rest of the room, so I brought the pillars down of dirt, and then I kind of made like a little hill on the side. The right side still is going to need some work, but what I want to do is get the ceiling done. So I brought that down, I connected it, and then I started filling in with dirt, and then I stepped back again and kind of look at what I want to do, see where we can break up that brown. So I decided to break up the brown in those corners there as we go up the wall and before we start coming out in that little arch that I was talking about. So we start filling that in with stone, with some andesite, stair blocks, things like that. And then I'll step back again, make sure it looks good. Now what you want to do when you're doing something like this is not to do too much of one thing in one spot, because you do want to blend it in. So you don't want to you want to have just enough, if that makes sense. You don't want to have the dirt that's there and then all of a sudden there's just a big huge area of like stone and everything hanging down. So you want to kind of gradually work that in, and then to bring that together more, because brown and gray, they kind of do go together, but there is a difference between stone and dirt, so you kind of want to blend that in using andesite. That has a little bit of texture to it. And then what I also like to do is start working on my leaf blocks, because that does add a lot of texture to your build and makes it a little more organic, a little bit more natural. So that's something I like to do. And then I also like to hide the torches within the slabs, just so there is a light source there, or I'll hide it behind a leaf block, because I mean, I'm not looking up at the ceiling too much, but I do want light to be there. I am aware that it is too dark up there, so we do want to add some light to that. Now, that side is about done. I'm pretty satisfied with that. So, other than that, we want to start working on the other sides. I went to the other side of the room, and as I'm talking, I'm not sure if it's probably not lining up, but like I said, I'm just talking to you about my process. So I'd start working on the other side as well, take a step back again, look at what I want to do, and then I don't want to make everything too symmetrical looking, and by that, on the other side of the room, I have stone in the corners. Now I don't want to put stone and make it gray and break it up in the same exact spot, so what I chose to do was bringing it up a little bit higher, and then I also broke it up near the center of the room on the right side. And then from there, you kind of just eyeball it, and then get your leaf blocks again, and then you kind of just start spreading them around. And there's really no technique to that. I kind of just look and see what looks good. There is a lot of breaking of blocks that I place, because you put it up there, you think it looks good while you're up there, but then you hop down, you're like, no, I don't really like that. So that is pretty much my process. Like I said, I hope that helps you out. I would have loved to do a long video on that, but unfortunately that probably would have ran this video over well over a half hour, so we didn't want to do that. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get back to the live action. So I hope that helped all of you out in explaining how I go through my process of doing this. Now, I did finish up this side like I said I would. So if we take a step back, this is what I have come up with. So you saw me putting all of this in, putting that in, and then all I did was finish putting in dirt on this side, and then I filled in dirt for this side here. I left a little bit of rock showing just to break up the brown. So if we take a step back, you can see it's pretty broken up. We have some gray, brown, gray, a little bit more brown, gray, some green, and of course we have this part right up here. So this does need to be a little bit more green in my opinion, just like that, something like that. And I think that looks good. So we can remove all these dirt towers I just created. And yeah, that looks a lot better. I might need to touch that up. I'm not really loving that. So if we just come on up. And it's really a lot of trial and error. So we can just place dirt right there. And then maybe another slab right there. And there we go. So that is pretty much how I do it. So let's go ahead and check it from all angles here. So I realize that this wall needs to be done here. We're almost out of time though, so I just may do that off camera in between episodes. But hopefully this gives you a good idea of how to create this type of cave. I don't know what you'd like to call it, but yeah, this is my process. And like I said, unfortunately we are all out of time for today. So before we close out, let's go ahead and take one more peek at how much slime we've collected since we've been here. Doesn't look like any are moving down there right now. But let's see. Oh no. Did my... looks like my iron golem died. That is not good. So I have to go down there and see what happened. But look at all that slime we've just collected. Yeah, that's a pretty decent amount of slime. Like I said, that is more than enough to last me for the rest of this survival series. But sadly, it looks like we lost our iron golem. I'll have to take a look at that later. But this is the end of our episode. I really hope you guys enjoyed. This has been Rogue Fox, and I'm out. I'll see you later.